That's right. See, we got ourselves some flaming hot drinks and flaming hot Cheetos for our flaming hot topic tonight.
What's that topic?
I don't know. I'm not in charge.
What? That was a great bring in.
I know.
Go for it.
Again, I pitched the ball. Who's going to hit that home
All right,
run?
you know what we're talking about tonight?
I'm literally playing tennis with you on words right now, Cam.
It's Paul.
I'll go for it. I'll take the lob.
I already
take
took
that
the lob.
Go for
I
it.
spiked it.
What are we doing?
I'm just waiting for the return.
noises. And this is what happened when
Cam,
we got established.
What's the topic?
I believe we're talking about Amber Heard.
Oh my gosh, you mean Amber Turd?
Oh, yes, indeed.
We're going for 2.0 here.
You know, we had so
Clearly,
much fun.
it's been a few weeks since we've gotten together.
Oh, my goodness.
How long has it been?
A while.
been 3 weeks.
3 weeks? That's a record.
exact
To the
amount
people
of a
listening,
few.
it's only been a week, but for us, it's been 3.
Jeez, I missed you guys. A lot's been going on. A lot's been
I
going
haven't
on.
really missed you guys.
Just kidding.
Liar.
I mean, I'm just saying this on social media.
Too busy to care.
Honestly, my feelings have gone numb, so
What's
I'm a
the point
walking
of life
shell of a man.
Soul's being sapped out of you.
That's because he's sitting next to me all the time. So
Well played.
What's that thing on Parks and Rec? He's like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Well, I don't sleep anymore, and my common interests don't interest me anymore. So I'm sad all the time." Anyway, but today we're not here to talk about Parks and Rec.
We're here to do a part 2
Part dos.
of Depp versus Heard.
Yes.
I heard about that.
Did you
Let's
not
go
step on
with
a
Depp.
Let's dive Depp into what we've heard.
Yes. Keep them going.
Oh boy.
Because it's Johnny Depp
Yeah.
Yeah,
Never
thanks.
heard.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
and Amber Heard. You know?
thanks for laying that out, Chris.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
You didn't even just lay it out. You like served it on a platter.
A little sparrow told me that she don't got jack on him.
Oh! Yeah!
A jar of dirt.
I've got the job done.
What was it that she said about that?
Like having
He
a
has
jar
like
of cocaine.
Jar of cocaine. He's like, it's dead.
He looks at his lawyer. He's like, it was dirt. And they just both start laughing like while she's on the stand. They're having a great time.
The amusement.
It seriously is something out of a movie. Like, I feel like this whole thing is fake.
Well, do you think it is fake? There is a conspiracy surrounding that.
There's no way.
There is.
I don't think it could be fake.
Do you know why it's conspiracy?
Why?
Mr. Conspiracy Guy?
I am that guy.
I know.
They
Take our
think
minds off.
It's to distract us from Bill Gates and like all the farmland
Heard
being
that
taken
sketchy
over.
stuff.
On top of that, all of the warehouses of like food being destroyed.
Can't
And-
find.
Oh, don't
baby-
even start me down that path.
And
find baby
Sleight of
formula
hand.
the
anywhere.
baby formula going gone.
Yep. And I mean, I saw an article recently. I can't remember if you guys, I think you might have sent it. Someone sent it, I feel. But it was an article about how way back in the day, the government was
me.
killing
Yeah, that was
buffalo
Chris.
to force Native Americans into becoming dependent upon the government.
Exactly. So is that what they're doing now?
I do say the timing of it is very interesting, and the length of it. Ghislaine Maxwell's trial wasn't even this long. Right. And
Yeah.
she was helping a man take
Wait.
advantage of children.
Hold on. Is her trial over?
Oh, long over. Dude, that thing was like 2 weeks long, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah, that was
like
a quick
9
trial.
days.
I thought it was like still going on.
No,
Just
dude,
no
it
big news
ended
had cracked.
forever ago.
Really?
Yeah.
And what was her?
She committed suicide.
No, I'm just kidding. She got suicided.
Hillary showed up. Oh, on cigar.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we go any further, welcome to Five's a Crowd. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe, especially if we make you laugh. I'm surrounded by all my best friends, Cam, Chris, Tony, and Zach, and I'll be your host tonight. My name's Austin. So welcome, grab a seat,
Austin.
enjoy us, and let's talk about the turd
Yeah,
that you
and
heard.
just get ready for some facts riddled in amongst a lot of sarcasm and jokes.
From Depp in the bowels.
Oh goodness!
So
Yeah, if you're taking like, how do I want to say this? I'm gonna be very airheady tonight. Just throwing that out there.
Nice.
But
you should take a bump.
You got it.
I'm gonna blow my nose.
Well, you didn't pause for the picture.
Oh, yeah, I got to pause.
But so the whole reason for the case we don't take lightly. Domestic abuse, that kind of thing. We take very seriously, that
Right.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we're not making fun of that before anybody gets upset. The
Which
rest
also
of it,
beta
we're
males.
going to strongly make fun of.
We already did get called out for that in our last one.
Did we
I didn't
really?
know I didn't know I was a beta male. I figured that one out.
What's a beta
You are
male?
definitely not a beta male.
Yeah, someone wrote on there basically that how dare us, talk lightly of Johnny Depp and this Amber Heard situation.
We
this
dare.
is no
do
joking
dare.
matter, and
Well,
this
hang on.
is a horrible
Everything's a
situation.
joking matter. If the
Something
timing
like
is
that.
right.
What's a beta male?
Yeah,
Basically, it's
Think of what's an alpha male.
opposite of an alpha male. So you're like a weakling.
It means you roll over on your belly.
Yeah, that's you.
I do.
To the T.
All of it.
Right.
I mean,
For
I do
good
like
belly
my,
scrubs.
I was gonna say, I do like my belly rubbed.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And then I'm a little lower.
In fact, me and Kara were talking about this the other day. I'm like Carl on Jimmy Neutron. Did you ever see Jimmy Neutron movie?
I love Jimmy Neutron, dude.
I was sitting there going, nani, nani, nani. And she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, it's what Carl does when he gets his belly rubbed. His mom comes in and rubs his belly, and he goes, nah.
So I
I know why you're partial to him. It's
I
because he's a
usually-
redhead.
I usually don't listen to the comments, but I was like, oh, this one's doing good. Let's read. And I was like, found out I'm a beta male today.
Do they call you out specifically or just all of us?
All of us. We're
I
all
missed
a bunch
that
of,
one.
Oh, I found out that we will forever be single and never
That's
be married.
right.
Oh, yeah. I saw that. I didn't know that.
Good
We're
to
a bunch
know.
of out of shape old dudes that will never be
Yeah,
married.
that's right.
Apparently, they
single
haven't
forever.
listened to
And
one
single
of our
forever.
previous episodes.
Or they just don't see all of our fingers.
Well, I mean, it's hard to
Or-
see our fingers, but I think we bring up our
Really?
wives.
Is it?
Well, I mean, I know my wife is pretty much brought up in almost every episode.
That's
so.
right.
And here's the problem.
Not
I
by
take
choice.
everything that everybody says to me to heart.
That's
I just don't
unhealthy.
care.
Chris cries himself to sleep.
I do?
Every night.
Like
I
a
just want to
beta.
be loved by everyone? Just kidding.
I gave up on that
quickly-
dream a long time ago.
We have quickly learned to not give up.
Not
We're
give a
just here
damn.
to have a good time, everybody.
We are, and we hope you
it's-
are too.
It's your
Listen,
choice to have that
seriously.
good time, so choose it.
But just so you know, we shouldn't have to say we don't really take this lightly. We understand that it's serious, but we kid about stuff and it's just what we do. So if you don't like it, you don't have to listen.
Who was it that was quoting that Chris D'Elia the other day?
Me.
Yeah, what was it that he
It was
said?
literally yesterday.
Oh yeah,
What?
We
bro.
were sitting right here.
Don't even talk to me about timelines. These last 3 weeks, have you ever bought a house? Dude, it is freaking bananas.
I don't want.
He
I
hasn't
want
bought
one.
a
I just
house.
don't want to have to do it.
Not even just the buying process, but
Right.
everything that I've been setting up to do is just.
Heck.
I couldn't tell you timelines.
You got a
Cam
platter
got
full,
his house
sure.
for free, so
yeah.
Yeah, I did. But see, it is just like
You
that
get a
quote.
house.
You guys have all seen it. I'm pretty sure I sent it to you all. But that Chris D'Elia quote where he's like, it's really weird that people get mad at comedians. It's actually the weirdest. You know why? Because we're joking.
It's just jokes.
We made the whole thing up. Didn't really happen.
And then
The best part
best
is
part,
you
is you
paid
pay us.
us to say it.
with that, please join and pay us. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, on Real Talk. So with the move, there's going to be a brand new studio.
Oh, yeah.
And we are looking to get all ritzed up in the joint with brand new setup for the podcast.
And actually have like podcasts, not just a second use studio.
Yeah.
Of just men try with more people, but like an actual fives a crowd area.
It will be way dope. And with your monetary donation, it will help fund that new studio. So if that's something you want to see, please hit that join button.
What kind of background would you guys like to see? I want to know. Throw out some suggestions.
I want to see
You're thinking
Oh.
of titties. No, just kidding.
Sorry, I had to.
And they
Mine.
one on each side.
Nice and hairy.
Wait, whoa. Too many side conversations.
Can you
What-
say
Oh,
that?
man.
Can you say that word?
Hey, just did.
It'll also help us have time for research, better research.
Right.
So it helps everyone.
Titties?
Help us help you.
We're on one tonight. We
are.
We might be slap happy. I don't know, man. This is
Bro,
wild.
we're
Honestly,
so
I am
late.
tired. I haven't slept well the past
you know
couple
what?
nights, and so I'm on like Jack Sparrow mode. Like it's just like
We just got on a boat and we're seeing where it goes is what's going on right
Sinking real fast.
We're Jack Sparrow
Yep.
on the bird watch.
Speaking
and
of,
we're gonna land on the
Focus
dock
on
just
a-
right.
That's the one.
On a
Crow's
side
Nest, bird
note,
watch, whatever.
now. I mean, I got what you meant.
it is not 100% official that Johnny Depp will not be back as.
It's 100%, dude.
now here's
Johnny,
the thing.
here's the thing.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Go ahead.
Jerry Bruckheimer actually came out and said that he's kind of talked with Johnny a little bit, and he said never say never. There's some things in the work, and he's actually working on a 6th script right now, and he wants Johnny to play it.
But that's the
No.
thing. So I read that a couple of times. I don't remember him saying he was directly talking to Johnny. He said they're working on a 6th film and they want him in it. So basically, I feel like he's putting out the, hey, like, we really want to make this happen. And they're
And
going
we
to try to
want
sweet
you-
talk Johnny back into it.
And he's like, give
Yeah.
me my alpacas.
Yeah, you want to know why? Is because they get all the free press right now.
Right.
All the free press in the world. This whole story is nothing but headlines.
It's true.
Yep.
And it would be
But
nothing
I-
but free promotion and a giant paycheck for Disney.
I do hope almost
Right.
that it's like a olive branch, like, hey,
No,
we're sorry.
screw Disney, bro.
Hey, whoa.
Yeah,
whoa.
you heard me.
Whoa.
You heard me.
Whoa.
Yeah. I got Depp's back. Where's yours, you spineless coward?
And he's not even the best actor.
Shots fired.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm just
Tell us
kidding.
how you really feel.
Dude, the
Sorry,
Dis-
I get pissed off.
I
at
agree
this.
with you.
dude,
I
that
agree.
Disney adult community just got shook.
I am now a beta male and a spineless bastard. Gosh.
I didn't call you a bastard.
You're not the bastard.
He knows your father.
No, but he didn't come back Dutch.
But also, if Johnny goes and he works on this film, then he will have just perjured himself.
Listen, I'm just a big believer in the law that you're innocent until proven guilty, and this cancel culture crap has got to stop. So
Cancel the cancel
I got
culture.
Depp's back too.
Yeah. Well, and here's the
Full.
thing. Here, I would be 1,000% on your side, but Depp himself came out and said he will never work with them again.
I agree.
And from his perspective, if I was him and Disney dropped me like that, basically backstabbing me, kind of like they did James Gunn, I would be ticked off, and I would never want to make them another cent.
True.
But you never say never.
No, screw
The
them.
hard
Never
thing
say
is
never.
I agree with the passion and the drive of like saying screw you who screwed me kind of thing. But money talks, man. I've seen people fold
doesn't
for
need it,
all
though.
kinds of amounts.
doesn't
Yeah, but
need
we
it.
had a conversation about getting kicked in the nuts for $10 or $100,000. And this man
Was
like
yours $10?
just to
Mine
be
was 100.
more famous. Like the
Thanks for
platter is
bringing that
there.
back up.
I'm just saying, people do a lot of things for money.
You know what would be awesome?
I got you
is
a
if they
dollar.
did a like knockoff movie. If Jerry Bruckheimer made his own Pirates movie, not Disney, and called it like Pirates of the Gulf of Mexico. No, I don't know. I'm just throwing
Be
something
more
out
like
there.
Marauders of the Indian Ocean. I don't know.
Okay. And then have
And
have
his name
Johnny
is
Depp come in.
John
and,
Robin.
yeah.
John Robin.
It's got to be something with a little more pizzazz.
Jason Magpie.
Jason Crow.
I like it. I like it.
Wait, Jason's not a pirate name. How about Winston Crow?
Lieutenant,
Lieutenant is what they said back then.
John Vulture.
Lieutenant.
Yeah.
John Vulture.
It's basically lieutenant, but it was they referred to him as lieutenants
Lieutenant. Yeah.
back in the day.
Interesting.
Lieutenant.
Sounds real dumb, so they changed it to lieutenant.
No, just
By the way,
America
that was
gets
just for
better.
giggles. I really am not mad at you.
He's mad
What?
at Disney. Not
I'm
you.
mad at Disney. I'm not
Oh,
mad at
okay.
Hi, welcome back.
He's zoning.
you. You're thinking about The Rock. That's fine. I get it.
No, you said The Rock. Now we're.
So before we go down that rabbit hole, I feel
you.
like we've seen.
Thank you.
Since we last talked about this, we've like Amber Heard has been on stand. I don't think she was the last time.
She
we
wasn't.
talked.
It was just Johnny.
Yeah, so Johnny was the only one to be examined, and now the cross-examining of Amber Heard is happening.
Right.
And so that's where we're seeing all the crazy stuff come
And
out.
she's such a terrible actress.
Terrible.
Like,
I don't know how she is
so
an actress.
fake. Yeah.
She's so bad.
And
She
I-
can't fake cry.
I like take a minute. I'm like, am I being biased here? Nope, she's just horrible.
Dude,
She
she's
is.
way bad.
Yeah.
She's all wincy and like,
Can you explain to me literally what was in that napkin? There's been a few.
bro.
Go ahead.
I know what you're talking about. Like, there's been theories that there's possibly like little cocaine in there. I mean, if you're supposedly hanging out with a jar of cocaine, you're not gonna partake.
Yeah.
Especially
Little bit of powdered
she's
sugar.
also had issues with drugs, not just him.
All right.
So like, freak, dude, I wouldn't be surprised if she's
Well,
snorting
the
up out
bottle.
her.
That is the bottle too, where she went to go take a drink, and then the
And then the
She
what
hurries
do they
and
call
tucks
that?
it.
The
flash.
Plaintiff or
no,
something?
the person,
Bailiff.
the guard.
Bailiff.
Yeah.
What'd I say?
So
plaintiff?
what is this?
What's a plaintiff?
He brought
Is
her
that
a
even
bottle
thing?
of
That's-
some.
No,
No,
so
so
the
she
accuser.
she had a metal canister, just like your normal water bottle type thing,
Hydro flask.
hydro flask, whatever. And she had pulled it out and went to go take a drink of it. Then the bailiff started walking by her, and she immediately like stopped and hurried and put it down her side, put it back in her pocket,
real
like
Scrambled to
very
quick, like.
suspicious. Like it's 100% speculation as to what or why is it
Liquid
it
cocaine.
happened. But a lot of people are thinking
Coca-Cola?
that there's alcohol in there or
Classic.
something.
Wow. So she's just got like a wild addiction.
Could you imagine if she's really doing a bump of cocaine on the stand? Like, that is ballsy.
Yeah.
As Bob Saget said,
Is it
cocaine's
ballsy?
one hell of a drug.
I thought that was Rick James.
Bitch.
Maybe.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
That's right. You're right.
Yeah.
But what is? Oh, I suck. Never mind. Yeah, that's Bob Saget. That's an addiction.
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, I'm glad you caught on to that. Thank you.
You're right.
So the other conspiracy or thing that they're questioning is that whatever she put up her nose was to try and help her generate tears. To like,
Pepper?
I don't know, something to like try and help her
Objection
cry.
hearsay.
Well, that one of you shared a little thing from the Daily Wire where they kind of did a little deep dive into that, and for a split second, you see a little bit of white on her nose after that, and then she does a quick wipe.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, she's wiping up snot
Boogers.
that's not there.
Boogers.
There's no tears. That's all so fake.
And my dog stepped
She's
out
like
of me.
strung out. But the wild thing, I saw this. I saw this one video.
The leprechaun
where-
laughed with glee. That just came to me.
Great. I like that one. I saw this one video where I think it was her lawyer. I don't remember whose lawyer it was. Someone asked her, like, Johnny Depp hasn't looked at you once this entire trial.
That's what I was going to bring up.
He apparently won't even look at her, and they had a recording.
Well, no, hang on. Back up before that. So they're questioning Amber Heard, and they're like, Johnny hasn't looked at you this entire trial, has he? And she's like, no, he hasn't. And she's like, but you've looked at him many times. And she looks right at him and goes, yes, I have.
Stares at him.
And
while
then
he's
she's
staring at the
like,
screen.
is it true that Johnny said that he would never lay eyes on you again? And all of a sudden she kind of goes from this like confident, like pompous, and then she goes, I don't know. And then right there they play the recording.
Yep. And he said, I'll never let you see my eyes again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
So like,
So that's why he's always in glasses.
Because she's never allowed to see his eyes again.
But it plays
and
this,
if he can hold out with that, I feel like he could step away from Disney.
they play this audio though of them fighting again, but you hear her in the audio saying, just hug me, please, just hug me. And he's going off. He's like, you think I'm gonna hug you and hold you and let you put your hands on me after all the BS that you've done? And then I can't remember exactly word for word, but at some point in the audio he says, he's like, you're never gonna see my effing eyes again. And Yeah, he's holding to it.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
What an interesting thing to think of in the moment.
He's eccentric.
Like, could you imagine? You're never going to see these eyes again.
He's so like, just go take
Was that Terry Crews?
kind of sound like Terry Crews.
Pop your
Like,
pecs. Pop your
freaking,
pecs. Yes.
like Samuel L. Jackson kind of sounds like that.
I wish I had a tight shirt.
You can buy one.
Yeah.
All you got to do is shop in the kids
They
section.
don't come in half pint. Yeah,
You just got
exactly.
to go in the kids section.
we were going to go see if we can find you a smaller shirt.
Do you have stuff made for a
They don't
skeleton?
make one. We checked. What's that off of?
That's a good question.
Transformers, the second one.
I didn't hear it.
I don't remember that part.
In the second Transformers, when he's at the college party, and Bumblebee pulls up for the first time, and he's like parked on the bushes, and
What's going on?
Sorry, go ahead. I'm laughing in my own mind. Okay, it's fine.
it's not important. Moving on.
I just
Well, thank you. Thank you for that.
that I don't know why randomly that Fast and Furious scene where Dwayne the Rock Johnson's walking up to the house and he's like, "Oh, what'd they do? Run out of baby oil?" And he's like, I can't remember what he says.
No,
Something
he
about
goes,
his
hide your baby oil. And he goes, hide that big ass forehead.
Yes.
And that was 100% improvised too.
Ludacris spits his drink everywhere.
And what's his face? The other guy's like, it was a joke.
It was a joke, man.
So funny. I love that part.
Hide that big ass forehead.
Because isn't it in that same one earlier in the show, they're teasing about the size of his forehead?
I think so, yeah.
Sorry to go way off course.
We're good
I don't
at
know
it.
why that memory.
You guys
just
expect it, right?
All right,
So-
where were we?
Well, back on to Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Oh, and just to clarify, I don't remember if we said it exactly right last time. He's suing her for $50 million. She's countersuing for $100 million.
Really?
Oh, I didn't know there was a
Oh, yeah.
counter in there.
Yeah. So now they're trying to claim that
double
she's
serious.
not getting work because of his allegations. So basically the same thing he's doing. Which
Gee.
brings me back to when talking about the eye thing.
Okay.
She also has been mimicking his clothes.
Oh, I was going to bring that. Yeah.
Yeah, what's the point of that?
Some mental
Mind
things.
games.
But here's the thing.
Psychological warfare.
Here's the thing with her. Like,
But he doesn't care.
it could be one of two things. It could either be like she's intentionally trying to do something to him mentally, or her own mental issues are causing these things.
Well,
You know
she's
what I mean?
trying to like they see that everybody loves Johnny, so she's trying to be like Johnny, maybe.
Yeah, she literally like the next day in trial wears almost the exact type of thing he wore the day before.
Yeah.
Like even, didn't he have like a little tie tack or something that
It
was
was
a
like a bee.
bumblebee?
Yeah, bumblebee.
And then
Like
the
a
next
brooch
day
thing?
she had hers.
What was embroidered? Yeah, it was embroidered on the tie. Yeah, and she had one just like it. Same color suits. So weird. Like
Even she's Team Johnny.
exactly. Everybody's Team Johnny.
Bizarre.
But
How bizarre.
they're trying to claim that because of Johnny Depp's accusations and stuff that she's not getting work. Like their claim is that she couldn't have been in a movie as successful as Aquaman and not had a similar rise to fame as co-star Jason Momoa unless something else is going on. And they're saying it's the part that no one says out loud in Hollywood, but the only thing it could be is all of this. This is what's holding her back from
But
actually
the difference is
growing.
he has proof that she actually did what he's claiming, where she
Exactly.
didn't.
No, exactly.
It's hearsay on her side of it, yeah.
And through all of this, his biggest claim was that she was still getting work when he was dropped from multiple movies, big movies.
Right.
Well, a time traveler brought her makeup too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that, dude.
Yes.
That's why I love the internet so much.
What do they call those people who do the investigation?
Internet sleuths.
Yeah.
So
They found that.
to go back on that, the defending attorney, right, for Amber Heard, said that she brought up like a makeup contour thing and
Palette.
it was palette, that's what it is, and was basically saying that she used that palette every day to cover up the bruises on her face. And the internet sleuths went to the internet to figure out what makeup it was. Turns out that the allegation of the bruises was a year later or a year earlier than when the palette was released. So the makeup company then came out and was like, sorry, this was released in 2017. Your allegations are for 2016.
Dun, dun, dun.
Double jeopardy.
I loved it.
But
Loved that.
yeah, not just that, but they also say that when they start really getting into details with the story, you know that they're fabricating a story.
Yeah.
So
Well, like all those
He was
details.
wearing a mesh tank top and mesh shirt.
Yeah. What detail
My
does that
dog
matter?
stepped on a bee.
Did you? Who was it that there was the one video where, this like retired FBI interrogator. He was watching body language and watching the case and different things.
yeah,
And he brings up one of the times Johnny was on the stand, and Johnny was telling the story about when the bottle was thrown at him and it cut his finger. And he, in the video of Johnny on the stand, he's reenacting what he's saying. He's like, I was sitting like this and my hand was like this. And like, he's going through and reenacting the exact moment. And then it goes back to this, interrogator, and he was saying that one thing he knows is when someone's telling the truth, they'll reenact the scene because in their mind they're reliving it. And so when Johnny's doing this, the body language says that he's telling the truth.
He has a direct memory of the body movement.
Because there's no stutter in his speech, as far as like there's stutter in the sense of like he's stopping to like, you can see it in his eyes. He's reliving the memory. And he was just saying, he's like, when someone's lying, typically their body is pretty still because they're just making it up in their head. They're not reliving an actual memory.
Interesting. Now, to play devil's advocate, do you think because he's an actor that he could have a superior
an advantage to that. Yeah.
advantage to that?
That
They're
is
both
definitely an argument.
Yeah, but Amber, woo, dog.
Not on her side of it.
Yeah. Not in her favor.
There's different
I think
levels of acting.
the hard thing is like,
High school drama club acting.
I mean, I've watched so many things over the years, like so many like documentaries and TV shows that all deal with like crime and like investigation and things like that. And like people can do a lot of things. Like they can lie and enact,
Be pretty
like,
convincing.
be pretty convincing, but they also always make some sort of mistake. Like when the problem with lying is essentially that you have to create something out of nothing, but then you have to be consistent in it and consistently do it over and over and over and over again. And that's where people usually mess up.
And then you got to lie on that lie to cover the lie. And then it's just your whole life's a bunch of lies.
Just a bunch of lies.
Speaking of lies, when Amber lied about donating,
Oh, yeah, I heard about this.
right? Her words were incorrect. Like on one, and correct me because I don't know the entirety, but she basically said she donated 5 million,
7.
7 million to the ACLU and
Yeah.
one other charity. I can't remember. And then later on the panel or
The Stand.
the stand, she then said she pledged, which is
2 different things.
two different things.
Yeah.
So they caught her in a lie, which was huge.
Well, she goes, well, pledging and donating are the same thing to me. And the lawyer's like, well, it's not the same to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Calling her out on it.
Well, but
It was
then
3.5 million.
so 3.5 to each, 7 total.
Because I thought her whole thing was that the 7 that she won from the previous case against Johnny, that she was going to donate the full 7.
You're right. The other half, so half to ACLU, half to Children's Hospital Los
That's
Angeles.
what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
But she ended up only. So not all the money came directly from her. 100,000 came from Johnny, and then another 500,000 from a Vanguard account the ACLU believes to be associated with Elon Musk.
Oh,
So
really?
that's a fun fact. She used to date Musk,
Right.
but apparently she pledged this money, and he partially helped. Johnny helped, and even still, they didn't get nearly close to the amount that she.
So what did they get
pledged.
total?
So
600?
with those two, it's just 600,000.
No.
Well, and then later on the stand, she was saying, if he could stop suing me, then I could pledge. I could donate the rest of the money or whatever. And you're like,
Shut up.
come on, get on.
Stop
it.
suing him. He's done it once.
You're still in the middle of it. It's not like it's a.
And that was from how long ago? Like, that was from, what was it from? She was getting $7 million from what?
From the
Oh,
settlement.
from,
the
yeah,
divorce.
from when they got divorced.
Right.
Which was what, in 2015?
Yeah, I'm bad
Something
with
like
years.
that? I don't know.
2016.
Okay.
That's what I was gonna say.
But she hasn't made a single payment since 2018.
Jeez.
Huh.
Yeah,
And then-
she said pledge because she's like, I know I pledged. That way I had time to blah, blah, blah. I
To
don't
never
know.
do it.
But there's a video of her saying that she already did. She says, I donated. She says, I donated. So
Yeah.
she says
She did a
donated.
little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
Ridiculous.
donated the whole amount or something.
Now on,
Like,
on
what is she doing with the money? Why not donate it? I don't know.
She's rich.
got it. Yeah, she's rich.
I mean,
She's got a
She was rich
mansion.
before.
Who knows?
bet her
Like
net
what she
worth
made off
isn't-
of Aquaman, I'm sure was
she only
plenty.
made $2 million.
From Aquaman?
Actually, no. She was set to make $2 million on Aquaman 2.
Oh.
So
So
for
the
the first
first
one, she
one-
didn't even make that much.
Really?
Wow. And I thought, well, I mean, I guess it was in the contract, but the movie itself did really well.
Well, in the second one, they said she was supposed to have a main role, but then they cut her down to 10 minutes or something after this has been
Yes. That's right.
gone. So
Did she get
'cause there
eaten by
was-
a shark?
Well, there was a big old petition, right? The petition to get Amber Heard out of Aquaman 2 surpassed 4 million signatures, and then
Right.
DC came out and said that they were actively looking into removing her.
yep. Yep.
So,
So the
yeah, she
thing I
got
saw-
$1 million for the first movie.
But I think they shouldn't do it until she's been convicted, though. Like we were saying about
Yeah,
him.
Exactly.
of course. Yeah.
The hard thing is, though, when's that movie supposed to come out?
Mm-hmm.
Aquaman 2, isn't it? Like,
It's not my problem.
It's
So-
it's in post production, so
Right.
I mean it's
Editing.
they have a date announced for it. I just can't.
I got
remember
March 17th next year.
when. Yeah.
Oh,
So
they got
yeah,
time.
the thing
Yeah,
I
they got
saw,
time.
it says Warner Bros. Pictures has reportedly planned an emergency meeting due to executives insisting that Amber Heard needs to be cut from Aquaman 2 completely. So
See, and again, just because I don't want to be contradictory to my own belief, I don't think she should be cut until she is proven guilty. Even though it
Which-
seems fairly obvious at this point.
I guess I remember I picked this up and someone actually wrote it in the comments as well. How last time I had mentioned that, Warner Brothers was like, "Hey, good for you guys for not like getting rid of Amber Heard." But then I also did realize after the fact that Warner Brothers is in charge of Fantastic Beasts.
Yep.
Really?
Yes, and so
Oh, yeah.
they
Harry
cut
Potter.
Johnny Depp out of Fantastic Beasts, but yet they didn't get rid of Amber Heard and Aquaman.
Sons of bitches.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And they even, I even just
I
saw
realized that, and someone posted in our comments, like after I listened to our podcast, I was like, "Wait a minute,
Same company.
Double
Fantastic
standards.
Beasts is Warner Brothers, so they have double standards."
That's sexism.
Yep.
It's just because
No, it's only if it's the other way.
It's many-isms.
Oh.
You got-
is that how it is?
Yeah, that's how it is. I'm glad we cleared that one up.
Yeah, jeez. Oh,
So
that could have been a
Oh,
curveball.
man.
that's
I
where
can't
I'm
wait to see
split.
these comments.
Jokes, friends.
No, that's where I'm
Yes.
Let's
split.
not try and
'cause
alienate half of our fan base.
I love everybody. I just think some people are dumb. Just kidding. But not our fan base. Our fan base is great. I think the ones that say stuff like that are the ones that you don't ever see them comment before, and then all of a sudden they come out of left field.
Yeah.
I'm not digging anything. I was being for reals. For reals.
on a funny note, Amber Heard. Jess is really my only source of information because my life has been an utter cluster these last few weeks. So she's kind of kept me up to date on the whole Amber Heard thing. And the funniest part is that a few weeks ago she fired her publicity
Yeah.
team. She fired her publicity team and hired a new guy because
Just
they
one
were,
guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I think so. I think
He's
just
the
one guy.
guy.
You need a whole group of people for her.
Yeah. Well, the thing is the new guy that they brought on, I guess the internet trolled him or like looked at his backlog and found out he's been fired for like sexual harassment from multiple places.
Oh my god.
Is like
No one is
gotten
safe.
multiple DUIs, all this stuff. And
Oh
so
boy.
now he himself needs his own PR team.
Oh my god.
My goodness.
Yeah, bro. It's a
What a
clown.
tangled web we
It is
weave.
just a
Oh my god.
tangled mess over there.
Yeah.
I will say it is kind of scary how like you essentially are on trial in two different places: the actual judiciary system of the United States of America and the court of public opinion.
Yeah.
Like two completely different trials going on at the same time. One of them, like what's the word? Based in law. The other one is a lawless world, the wild west that is the internet.
Meme culture, man, has taken this by
No
fire.
one is safe.
Well, and you have to kind of figure too. The second one controls your career in this case.
And that's the scary
you're-
thing nowadays.
Right.
If your fan base goes kaput, yeah, I don't know.
If the mob comes after
Again,
you.
I love you guys.
Now, something that's always intrigued me is because I side with Depp.
Right.
I wonder if social media only feeds me memes defending Depp. And I
could.
wonder
I
if
don't
there's
know if they exist on the other side.
I don't know either, and that's what I'm getting at. Is I wonder if I'm only being served that.
All right.
You know what I mean? Like I wonder
'Cause
if
it's
there
very-
are people
I mean-
out there being served Amber stuff, and
The-
then they're getting
It's kind of like
the other world.
not to get political, but it's kind of like, you know, I'm not one for Joe Biden, and so naturally I get a lot of stuff making fun of him.
Yeah.
But
Well-
I know there's still those out there that are Biden supporters, both of you.
Oh shit!
Actually, that means there's only one because half of those followers are fake.
Did you see that? Lost their underwear.
No, did you like
No.
in,
Did you see on
in
Twitter?
an investigation? So because Elon Musk is trying to buy Twitter, they had to do an audit of Twitter accounts to prove to him that there were less than 5% that are fake. And they found in this audit that nearly half of Joe Biden's followers are literal fake accounts.
Oh wow.
Half.
And that just goes back to our conversation in the other
popular
podcast
president ever.
about bots,
Right.
Yeah.
right? Like on Twitter, you could be in a political debate and argument
With
with,
a Chinese
bot
robot.
that's literally in favor of Biden, or you know,
GIF
it
I
just
sent.
Yep.
it's so scary.
What was that GIF I sent? That was funny.
I don't remember.
The robot is calling you a. Oh, you have to prove to a robot
that.
you're not the bot.
Right?
That's how it's gonna be. Right. Well, and it is scary because, like, in this day and age, I think we've mentioned it before. We're no longer in an actual war of fighting with weapons. We are in a war of
Well, don't
information.
say that about Ukraine.
I mean,
How
and
dare
how do we
you?
know that everything we're seeing is true too? From that.
that's true.
I mean, there's a lot of video game footage out there.
Exactly. Like in the
people
very
are
beginning,
falling
there was
for.
all that video game footage. But I mean, there's just so much information is now currency. It's weaponry. It's how we know or don't know what's going on. And
mean,
that's
there is-
scary, especially with how much it's manipulated.
Not to mention 40 billion pledged to Ukraine again.
Freak. I hope they like their additions.
Did you
to
see
the
that?
house.
Yeah.
40 bill.
Who
to
voted for these
Ukraine.
idiots?
And yet we don't have formula on our own shelves.
That I have a theory.
Let's hear it.
I'm totally
Bill
joking.
Gates.
Hey,
Hershey.
Hershey.
Yeah, because remember that small village that they sent formula out
Oh,
to?
it wasn't a small village.
No.
It was a country.
Oh,
That's
okay.
right.
Yeah.
Although I heard you can get
History
formula in
pe-
Canada.
We're not in Canada.
Well, I'm just saying, a lot of people posted like you can
Could
go
you
on
imagine?
Amazon's
Well,
Canada
people are-
website.
You're getting
They have tons of
busted for
formula.
smuggling across the border.
See,
All
that's
right,
so
what do you
odd.
got? Formula.
But see, that's the thing, though, is us buying from Canada is just going to give Canada a shortage.
Exactly.
Well, that and then the people
But it's
are
also going to fuel their economy too.
yeah, but people are helping, like trying to help by saying you can substitute with this. It's not ideal, but you can, and they're doing these false information ads over all of that, saying don't do this, don't give them milk, don't give them that, and it's just like, what are you supposed to do? Let the kids starve?
Yeah.
It's dumb.
Dude, and it's scary that Bill Gates is the top of all that because the dude has talked over and over about overpopulation in the world.
Right.
and how we need to get it under control,
Yeah, so Bill Gates is the modern day Thanos.
basically.
All right.
And recently,
Only uglier.
I need to, I will disclaim, I need to substantiate this. I did see a brief article, haven't dived into it, but apparently his ex-wife is sharing some stuff about why they got a divorce. And part of it, as she claims, was his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
Objection.
Hearsay.
Actually, I didn't hear it. I read it.
Oh.
Objection, Reed say.
Red said.
Red said.
So there was another one that I saw on the Bill Gates, and I think I sent this to you guys, but it was the Bill Gates. It's this meme, and it was like, Bill Gates is amazing. He launches artificial breast milk right as formula shortage hits America. He's also the largest investor in vaccines, and then there's a pandemic. He is the largest owner of land in America, and there's a food crisis.
So smart.
It's like he's clairvoyant.
Dude can see the future.
Yeah.
Or he's causing it.
The scariest thing that's going on in today's society is you don't know what to believe. You don't know
Yeah.
if you're getting the truth from anywhere.
Yeah,
You don't know.
exactly.
And that's never a good place
Right.
to be.
Yep.
Well, and the
So-
social media algorithms are designed to keep you on the platform, which
Right.
means putting you in your own echo chambers. Like we are going to see more of the stuff we like because it's designed to do that. But then at the same time, like I don't trust any of the mainstream media because they're all owned by massive corporations or extremely wealthy people. Like freaking Bezos bought Washington Post.
Yeah.
Like he owns them. Like MSNBC is owned by Bill Gates. Like
Is it really?
yeah, it's Microsoft, MSNBC.
Microsoft
News Broadcasting Network.
I didn't know that. Those dirty devils. Well, then Disney owns like a bunch as well.
Yeah, we talked about.
Don't they
how
own
much
Fox?
They own all ABC stuff.
No, they
that's
own
what they
Fox.
actually do own Fox.
Yeah,
now.
they
They
own
own
Fox.
Fox.
Yeah, they just barely, like within the last year or two.
Very interesting.
No, they bought
Disney?
Fox a little bit ago.
Yeah, because that's when they acquired Marvel.
And
But
Simpsons.
No, they
and-
bought Marvel separately.
No,
I
they got
could
like
be-
Simpsons and
Yeah.
all those.
yeah, I could be completely wrong. I don't think Disney got the Fox News portion
I don't think
of
they
it.
did either.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I think it was just the
Well, that would make
entertainment
sense
side.
because Disney's on one side and I feel like Fox is on the
Oh
other.
yeah, no, yeah, dude, they bought Fox in 2019. I
Yeah.
guess that was 3 years ago.
Yeah. But it was just the entertainment side. It was just the Fox
Yeah,
Studios.
20th Century Fox is what
Yes.
they bought.
Did you guys see that? It was forever old now, but that one where it's the news guy and he's like signing off and he's saying all these things, and then they start placing all of the news channels all iterating the exact same
Right.
lines,
Well,
Right.
and it starts flooding the screen and it becomes this giant echo.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
and those
creepy.
that's because all those news stations are owned by the Sinclair
No.
Yes.
broadcasting system.
But still, no, there was one where
Like
they
the
were
gas
talking about
station.
COVID and everything. Oh, we can say that now.
Yeah,
right?
that's fine.
So MSNBC,
We can't say
CNN,
COVID?
Fox,
Bro,
all
it's
them,
America. You can say what you want.
and it'll say like
For
one
now.
person will say it's a danger to our democracy, and also you
Yeah.
hear the other one, danger to our democracy, danger to our democracy.
Yeah, and that's what I'm
That's
saying. Is
creepy.
it starts
Is that
to
the one you're
echo.
talking about? Yeah. It's
And it just starts
creepy.
spreading across the screen, and there's all
And
these
it's just-
different anchors and channels.
But I
It's
remember seeing
creepy,
Fox and
dude.
CNN and MSNBC on that same.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, I just don't know anymore.
It's all. Yeah.
I like to try and think that I'm a free thinker, but I wonder how much of my thought is
Right.
actually influenced.
I was listening to a podcast, started a new one today that they're interviewing Bill Maher. And one of the questions they asked him, they're like, how do you find your information? They're like, because sometimes you have guests on there that you do get in kind of that, I'll say argument, so to speak, and they come at you with some knowledgeable stuff and you stand your ground and hold your opinion with good rebuttal. And so they're like, so where do you find your information? And he didn't really like full on answer it, but he just said, he's like, honestly, it's so hard nowadays because the first step is finding out where I can get the full story. He's like, because I feel like if I'm hearing it from MSNBC, I'm only getting one half of the story. If I'm getting it from Fox, I'm getting the other half of the story. Like, and it's hard to find
Right.
nowadays where you can get the full honest story.
Just the
And it's-
facts about it. Just
Yeah.
give me the facts. I actually listened to him. He was on
Give me
a
the core
Joe-
facts.
on a Joe Rogan podcast, and
Bill
I
Maher?
gained a lot of respect for him because he does. He doesn't care. He just gives you what
Right.
he believes, and I respect that. I don't care what side you're on. Just tell me what you think, and
That's
then
what
don't
I-
get offended when I tell
I
you what
want
I
to get
think.
back to those days.
Yeah.
Like,
I
We're starting it now. We're
feel-
starting a revolution.
I feel like the
Can't
pendulum
even
might
start a
be on
lawnmower.
its way back. It's finally hit its precipice and it's about to come back the other way.
I highly doubt that.
I don't know, like
Why
because
can't it just stay in the
because
middle?
I've seen stuff like Bill Maher is a good example because he's very much a left leaning person,
Right.
But he's to the point where he's like, this is the facts. I'm going to point this out. Like what we're doing on the left now is ridiculous and messed up. Like we're too far.
Right.
And so he's kind of moved back to the middle. So you're seeing more people like, okay, maybe we've gone too far. We're getting a little extreme.
But he's done that from the beginning too. He's like, so
But and then I also just saw was it Netflix put out a memo to like their people,
Right.
Saw
their
that.
employees, where they basically said like, hey, it's possible you're going to work on things that you don't agree with. If you can't handle that, maybe this isn't the place for you to work.
Yep. See you
And
later.
that's how it needs to be.
interesting.
you need to be able to see both opposing views.
It's the freedom of choice too. It's like
Right.
if you don't like it, you don't have to stay here.
I get it, but it helps you.
but they
get-
have to stay on this podcast.
Yeah, but it helps you get an educated
Yes.
decision. I like looking at both sides and then coming to my own conclusions about it, and then doing research. So I'll research what they said. Their facts were on this and on this side, and
Exactly.
then I kind of get it to where I want it and where
That's how
I
we
think it should be.
it's how we
Makes
get
me
there.
it makes me want to bring up another subject, but I'm afraid that this subject that I bring up might be its own topic.
Ding ding ding. Do it,
Round
and then we'll say
fight. There's so much.
finish him.
I don't know if I want to have this
All right.
subject.
All right. Well,
But needless to say, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, and it is scary because we don't have all the facts,
right.
and so we need to do the research into both sides to really understand. Of
course.
it's kind of like finding multiple witnesses, that all have a corroborating story, and it's like, okay, this is probably what's going on.
But it's so hard too because everybody's so busy. You have to work. You got to take care of your family. You got to take care of your home. You got to take care of all this. To
Hell,
where it's
you are
hard.
preaching to the choir on that one.
That's why I said it.
I'm just saying.
We're the choir.
Right. Exactly. I don't know. Where was I going?
Sorry.
There's just so
You're
much you
good.
got to do. It's hard to do all the research.
Right. It's hard to. And I think that's part of the plan is it's just
See,
like,
and-
just believe us.
Well,
Just trust
beforehand, it was all about being reputable,
us. Right.
right? It was about being correct.
Oh.
It wasn't about being first.
Right.
But the minute you were now able to monetize
Right.
being first and monetize clicks, now it's not necessarily about being correct. It's about what can drive the most amount of clicks.
Right. Denzel
Or
Washington
shares.
said something about that.
And it doesn't matter if you're wrong or right, because if it pisses people off, they're going to share it. And if they share it, more people are going to see it and more engagement, and they're going to make more money.
So they do a big headline about it, and then if they have to rebuttal it, it's just in the
Oh, yeah.
footnotes of another.
Oh, sorry.
article.
This was incorrect. But
Yeah.
hey, we made a bunch of money off of it,
Right.
and we got a ton of shares. So
There needs to be accountability. I've
Careful,
said it
because we've
before.
been blamed for that.
Yeah, that's true.
clickbait, gotcha. Gotcha, bitch.
In fairness, we have never claimed to know facts and we're just kind of spitballing
Amber Heard is
opinions
guilty.
here.
We're having the conversation. We're
Right.
trying to see
Yeah.
different point of views.
Right.
And in a lot of ways, it's the information's out there. We all have the pieces, but once we get together and actually discuss it, everyone's piece comes together, and we all together see the bigger
And it's
picture.
a big pile of shit.
Like
Oh,
on
Johnny
Johnny's
Depp.
bed.
Yeah! Full circle. Full circle.
I said it. I
Then
was
you
just
take
waiting
off
for
your
the spike.
glasses and climb out of your Jeep. Anyway.
Oh, love it
man.
so much.
Gosh, do I want to open up Roe versus Wade?
Oh
No.
my
Oh,
goodness.
no.
That is a big subject right
Nope.
now.
That's one I would prefer to do more research on first.
Okay.
Yep.
We could get eaten alive in the comment
I
section.
must
on
be
that
living
one.
under a rock. Tell me what that one is.
Abortion
well,
rights.
The short story.
Yeah,
Like-
well,
Yeah.
It's
that's the
basically
abortion.
about it's about
It's about
abortion.
abortion rights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe that's something we can come back to because I feel like as 5 men.
Roe v. Wade.
I could piss a lot of people off on that one because
Oh,
I
we
have
will.
my
Here's
I
the
have
thing.
my own opinion.
No
and-
matter what, we're gonna piss people.
Well, I
off.
know, but I know for a fact I'm going to piss a lot of people off.
Hell, my
Yeah.
opinion might
Well, then
piss you
maybe
guys
we just
off.
don't do it. How about we
mean-
just don't?
Maybe not.
Well, no, because we can show that we can have a civil discussion about this. Because you guys might not like what I think.
But it's just one. It's one I want to know more about.
Probably not, though.
But basically,
You will.
to answer Tony's question, Roe v. Wade was the Supreme Court ruling that basically said that the government and states can't rule over a woman's body and her choice to abort.
Okay.
So recently there was a memo that came out from them that was released illegally, like somebody internally sent this memo out, and it was
It was a
basically
leak.
how the justices are talking about overturning it, which would then give rights back to the states to make laws fully banning like abortion.
And so there's been some states that have already come out and banned it, right?
At state
Ye-
discretion.
yeah,
well,
I believe
Texas
so.
Texas did, but they did it way before, and it's
they've
not
come out
fully
with different
banned.
like heartbeat laws and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
but it's not fully banned.
And the whole reason why I wanted to bring that up isn't even for that specific subject, but because I did the opposite, right? Back when we were talking about, I wonder who's being fed Amber stuff.
Uh-huh.
I purposefully went down the rabbit hole on the leftist side to see what they're
Trying to play the switcheroo on the algorithm.
Exactly. Trying to see
Right.
what they're being served and to see like why they would be so strongly opinionated against certain ideas. And one of them was seriously like, if this passes, the next thing they're going to come after is gay marriage.
Right.
And then the next thing they're going to come after is this. And it's like, oh, pump the brakes. Like, we're not like, that's just crazy
Well, that's
talk.
propaganda, yeah.
Yeah, it's propaganda.
Well,
and
that's
so
the problem is there's so much propaganda.
Well, we
Yeah.
get fed. I mean, everybody gets fed propaganda.
Yeah,
the right gets
exactly.
fed propaganda.
Honestly, to your point, nowadays you pretty much have to have 2 accounts, and on
Yeah,
each
dude.
one only like the opposite side and see what everyone's getting.
Not
Yeah.
me. I'll just like pick some random topic just to go off, and then it kind of keeps it balanced out for me a little bit. Like I'll be like, "You should be able to have sex with elephants." And it's like,
whoa, what made that? What?
Nope.
This is over.
There was legitimately something that came up saying, "Should you be able to have sex with elephants?"
What are you
And I
clicking
clicked on it. I was like,
oh no.
"Let's see what people think about this."
What are you
I
clicking
wanted to see. It didn't
Okay.
show anything.
Well, now
You
I'm
wanted
curious.
to see it, but it didn't show anything.
it was an article that
Hang on,
said.
I got it. I want to hear it.
I want to know now.
Now we're curious. Now we're on the edge of our
How many
seats.
people are in on this?
All right, you guys get it out, and then I'll continue. Here's
we're
what
ready.
out. What all the comments you want to say right now?
Your elephant weapon.
I don't think it's their hand. It's got to be
Only
their
when I'm
whole body.
hydrated.
That's like that's
Only
like
when, only when they're hydrated. Okay, there's seriously
Wait, are we on the
An
receiving
article.
end or on?
on the.
What are we talking about here?
I think
Pause
you're
for
going
a
to
second.
die if you're on
Pause
the
for a
receiving
second.
end.
I don't know, man.
Okay,
Because you're trying to talk over buzzing bees here. Let's.
the bees are talking
Did the
over
dog
me.
step on it? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So there's an article that said, "Should you be able to have sex with elephants?" And it went into an article about an Indian trainer who would masturbate elephants because they needed relief to be able to be trained or whatever.
There
right?
you go, friends.
So I was curious. I was like, "What the hell is this?" So
There's a job for everybody.
it's not like a video,
mean,
but there's
that-
an article about it. I was like, "Yeah, you shouldn't be schlonging an elephant," you know. So I read about it, and it was just saying that it helps with training, and he does this. It's a ritual. Wow.
maybe
Does he ride it like a pole?
maybe
Like a
Barnum and
fireman's
Bailey
pole?
would still be around if
But
they were.
anyways, it was just talking about it,
Jacking
and it
off
was
their
saying, should he
elephants.
be able to masturbate as part of the job to masturbate an elephant? And they're like, well, is it having sex with elephants? And I was just like, that's an interesting point of view. I'm sorry, Mom. But I read an article.
Hold on. Isn't there a scene in a movie where he jerks off an elephant?
What?
Oh,
What
movies
movie do you watch?
No. What was that movie with that Canadian comedian that was really popular, like late 90s? He had like that. Daddy, would you like some sausage?
Oh, Tom Green.
Tom Green at the end of that movie,
I
doesn't
don't
he
know.
do
I never
something?
watched any of his stuff. He was a freaking weirdo.
He
I
was freaking weird, dude.
I
couldn't
didn't
do it.
I liked him when he like cameoed very small parts.
Like in Grind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Off the hook.
But I don't think I
off
ever
the hook.
watched an actual show
That's
of
a
his.
good movie.
You know what that movie? What's the name of that movie?
It was the Tom Green movie.
No,
wasn't
no,
it?
no,
He
no.
had a
It
show,
was
but
Freddy Got Fingered.
Yeah.
yeah.
I never saw that.
At the end of that, dude, I swear,
Daddy,
from
would you
memory.
like some sausages?
I've never seen that either. But no, like I'll just read random articles. I was like, what is going through people's heads?
I mean,
Tom Green. That's what's going through people's heads.
Right, I guess.
I'll give it to him. That might be a good way to train me. So
Well, I sent you guys. I'll send you guys.
You
like,
are trained.
You are trained, bro.
Yeah.
Think about it.
all right.
By the one person who wanted to do it.
But anyways, yeah,
Ouch.
that's what it was.
That
Sure,
came out
there's,
meaner than I
I'm
meant
sure
to
there's
be.
others that wanted.
I'm
it.
just saying, like, not out of us.
But anyway,
I'm sorry.
that's why my
I love
thread,
you.
I get a wild, wild west show of everything. Like I'll send you guys an inspirational quote, and then I'll send you something completely outlandish,
It's true.
ridiculous.
That is true.
Love it.
So
Keeps us on our toes.
that keeps
Yeah, it
me on my
does.
toes too.
You
Now-
send us a
now
very
I'm not-
inspirational speech and then spiders on different drugs.
That's what it was.
My dad told me one time the other day that his dad said to him. And I'm gonna ruin the numbers completely. But he told me his dad said when he was growing up to trust half of what you read or half of what you
Oh, I've
see
heard of this.
and even less of what you read. Or something like that, to that effect.
Trust half of what you see and even less of what you read. Mm-hmm. See, and nowadays I feel like the read is now watch.
Yeah.
Like
Well, that's the problem is everyone reads headlines and that's it.
Not me. I
and the
read that
headlines-
whole elephant article.
Headlines half the time are not like they're not completely true to what's even in the article.
Yeah.
You know,
that's
Well, it's
true.
clickbait.
it's funny
Yeah,
because
exactly, and that's the problem is everyone just reads that and makes their opinion on
I read one-
on that.
Like the elephant article.
I
It's
got-
clickbait.
I got suckered into one time where it was like, what was it? Woman goes to emergency room. Oh shoot, what was it? It was like saves her 4-year-old from a trampoline, and then like it shows the quote of her, and it's like, I didn't think it would end by me being crushed by a trampoline or so. I can't remember now.
Is that
Basically,
what
reading the article, there was high winds. It was down in like southern Utah somewhere, and they were outside trying to gather up their yard stuff because of the windstorm. And she saw her trampoline start to come off the ground, and her 4-year-old was in its path. And so I'm trying to remember how the details of it, but basically she realized that if she did one thing, it would take out her 4-year-old. So she had to kind of stay where she was at. So the trampoline like bounced off of her and missed her 4-year-old. And it ended up being that she had like some bruised ribs, and like it wasn't even that bad. But yet the quote and everything, it was like, oh my gosh, she's like on her deathbed.
She was
because
almost
of-
decapitated by a lawnmower
Yeah.
and a trampoline.
I read that like I was thankful that it was nothing serious, but like
You didn't know her. No, I'm
But
just kidding.
but the dark side of me was disappointed because I was like, man, this wasn't even a close call. Like,
Hold on. No, for real. Like I've read some articles because I try to, but again, life's so busy. I honestly sometimes fall victim to it myself, where I see an article, that's my opinion because I don't have time to read it. But then there's times when I sit down, I'm like, no, I want to know, and I read it, and the article itself completely changes my opinion on what the title would have led me to believe.
Right. Then you have to keep clicking
I
the
know
next page to find out more.
On the flip side, there's even those stupid memes where it's like, this house was afforded in 1990 something by a single man income and had 3 kids, and this is ginormous house that
Yeah.
literally only back then could have been owned by like a doctor and a nurse. And but like people are skewing the past to make it seem like today is that bad, and today is bad. I'm not discarding
inflation is
that,
horrendous.
but it's not. It wasn't like that back then either. So there's the skewing on both ends.
Making the grass look greener.
Yeah. Anyway, internet's wild.
It's a crazy place.
So
just use common sense. It's not as common as it used to be, but try to find it.
But that's what they said
And
about
use it.
us too.
True.
What?
Common sense isn't what it used to be. That keeps going down the line of generations.
Well, I think the farther you like the internet creates a rose-colored window for you to look at life.
Yes.
Whereas
Polarized.
the reason common sense would have been better in the olden days is because they didn't have that distraction. They didn't have a TV to stare at for the longest time.
Like this
or
works,
a radio.
this doesn't
They
work.
literally had to go out and go, oh, it is raining. Oh, yes, the house is on fire. Like, you know, like they saw
thing
it
it's raining.
firsthand, first person. Exactly. But like, they didn't have it as skewed, and so it was a lot easier to have the common sense.
Common
Nowadays,
sense.
it's a lot harder. But it's there. Take everything with a grain of salt and just think about it. Like some things they claim are completely
Sadly,
impossible.
I've learned that becoming a supervisor and everything, there's been some things where I was like, well, I just kind of figured that they should know that. It's kind of common sense. And my boss, she would just say, that's one thing you kind of just have to assume nobody has. I'm like, okay. And that was great advice because now it's like when we get new tellers or just train new employees, you literally have to train them like they're toddlers. As sad as it is to say, and I apologize if any of you are listening, but I more just mean you just can't assume anything anymore.
No.
But
Gosh, I wanted to read this one little tiny excerpt again. I can't remember how I came across it. I want to say it was on Facebook, but it was basically stating how from 85 to 95 is a unique generation in that we lived pre-internet and post-internet.
Yeah.
So we have lived both eras in essence between technologies. And so we have learned the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
And so in that, we have learned things the old school way and have adapted to the new school way. And that we should be the ones, that age
Running
range should
stuff.
be the ones running things because we understand both sides to the arguments as far as
Right.
ageism.
we should. But I
we're
feel
like
like
the
some of us
catalyst.
just dive deep into the newness of what we are now and forgot what we grew up in.
Well, and that's the other hard thing though with politicians is like that's literally what they're wanting to be. These people want to be in that world, and that world sucks. And they're taking advantage of it because that's what they want to be. So all the good people, like you see it all the time in history with like specific like kings or leaders or whatever. The ones who are the best are the ones who don't want it. George Washington didn't want to be
Right.
president.
Yeah.
He didn't want it and stepped down as soon as he could.
Yeah.
And he was literally the first leader of the greatest nation on the in the world. And like,
And
there's so
hatred.
many. I don't freaking care. I love this place. There's so many leaders that are like that though. The good ones don't want to be it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there's an article you guys should look up too. It's called the Oregon Trail Generation. And like you were saying, that's what we are, is the Oregon Trail Generation.
Dysentery.
Like referencing the game.
Yeah.
No, the actual. You don't remember walking the Oregon Trail? Don't remember the tuberculosis that took your
I
leg?
more mean just like shut up.
The Donner Party. You don't remember us?
You don't remember eating your friends?
I'm about to.
But yeah, we went from 8-bit or whatever. But yeah, it's just saying we're the Oregon Trail, and it pretty much describes what you said. We pioneered through it all, and so we should be the ones kind of
We hunted
helping.
too much. Got too much food.
You can't hunt too
Why there's no
much.
more buffalo?
You ran out of salt to salt the meat. We floated the wagons
All
where we
right.
should have went through.
All right, we are well beyond conversation of
Johnny
Amber
got
and Johnny.
dysentery.
know.
Let him
So-
die.
Kind of to kind of somewhat bring it back. I do have a quick question. When is the trial set to be over? Like when is
Freaking never.
Who knows?
They have apparently a specific amount of time to like ask their questions and be on the stands. And I swear, like, well, they took a week recess that just ended this Monday. But the judge was like telling them how much time they had left, and they had like each around 24 hours of like to present their evidence and questions and all
Testimonials
that,
and all that.
stuff. So I mean,
So it's like 24 hours, 2 hours a day type thing.
kind of, yeah, I think so.
Well, there's that. Oh, yeah, that one where his lawyer turned it back and like hit saying wrote that down because
Oh, yeah.
Well,
that's what it was.
because she
What was
mentioned
that?
Because she mentioned the
an
ex-girlfriend.
ex-girlfriend.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
by
right.
name.
And so then that allowed them to bring her in for questioning.
Right. So now that's probably going to happen, right? She hasn't come in yet though.
I'm not sure.
I don't think she
I've
has.
Well, it was not only that, but it was now they can start using her ex-boyfriends against her as well.
It's because it's relevant now.
yeah.
Because it was mentioned. So it
She
became
mentioned
relevant.
Musk.
So
Right.
I feel like with that,
He's too busy buying Twitter.
not just this trial, but just in general, if that's a rule in the courtroom, then like as people slip and keep saying things, it could go on forever.
right.
Yeah, but I think they still have a set amount of time.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So yeah, so the judge is like, "This is how much time you have left."
Got you. Yeah, so you got to bring your best case. Mm-hmm. So
Obviously, the
wild.
sooner it happens, the better it is for them.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
And you
Wild
also
world.
brought up a good point that what we're agreeing to may not be. Was it? I don't remember. I think it was you.
Maybe.
Anyway, the whole point that what we're seeing about Johnny, the jury may not be seeing.
Yeah.
And so they may be coming to a completely different conclusion than what
yeah.
the rest of the world is.
I know. Could you imagine if all of a sudden it does go in Amber's favor? And I feel like the internet would be shocked.
I've watched some
I
of the
don't think-
live things though, where it's not just the highlights and clips, and it's about the same as the clips are showing.
Still.
Yeah.
You know,
When Johnny's the dude does have this magnetic, just charming personality, and you feel it in the room. Like when he's on stage, the audience of the freaking courtroom is laughing.
yeah.
So
Well,
think it
and
feels
I mean,
genuine.
Robert Downey has already offered him a job the minute this is all over.
A job for
doing
what?
what?
Acting.
In
what?
Sherlock Holmes
Isaac.
3.
Oh, bro, that's been a while.
That would be fantastic.
Right?
That'd be
Oh
way
my
dope.
gosh.
Right? Wouldn't that be great? Anyway.
Way dope.
All right, that's a good note. We're going to end this podcast. But hey, if you stuck around and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe down below. We'd really appreciate it. And hey, drop us those likes and comments and ratings. We all the same. It all helps every single little bit. So please do it all if you haven't. And we'll see you guys here.
Wait, hang on.
Ah, no!
If you've listened this far, comment.
Okeechobee.
No, we
we
did
already
that
used
one
that.
already.
Flamin' hot.
Flamin' hot. Flamin' hot if you're still here right now.
Ping pong.
Ooh, flaming hot. I was going to
Yeah.
say we forgot to open these while we were in the podcast.
That's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
We'll do it
Sorry.
next.
It's okay.
Flaming hot ping pong balls.
Although it's funny, I was reading some comments on the video we did this last on, and I was like, "Why is everyone saying like all these words?"
Oh, see,
What was the one? It was the one I used. I know, but what was the word I used? It was like start with an R, didn't it? Oh, what
rigorous.
was it?
Rigorous.
That's right. I was like, why
Rigorous,
is everyone saying,
Okeechobee, and then
why
there
is
was
everyone
one
saying
more.
rigorous? So I was like, oh, that's right.
That was me.
All right, use flaming hot. Oh, actually, throw the hashtag flaming hot and leave us like a question. Maybe we'll start doing like throwing in a commentary or questions from
I
the
would
community.
love to do a commentary.
And
one.
it doesn't even have to be a question relevant to this episode. Just a question, and
Yeah.
we'll start coming back to them.
Fill our heads with positive thoughts.
We'll answer some questions and do a little roast.
We love you. We thank you, and we'll see you guys here next time.
Love you guys.
Ciao.
See ya later.
Thanks for being part of this crowd.